So, these people and myself, we're at the Pearly School here tonight to listen to Fortis talk about their energy diet. What's an energy diet? What's it all about? That's what we're going to find out for you. Shed energy waste. That's what it's all about. So, rather than spending big bucks to heat your house, the idea is to help you figure out ways to shed all those expensive bills and keep them down to size. Or as they have in a nice little graphic here, shrink it. Wonder what's going on here. So we've got vendors, people who supply services to people who have houses and buildings, Ready Electric, windows and doors, electrical, WD sheet metal, they do geothermals, yes indeed. And the slideshow will be beginning soon, so I better get set up. So they're just about to start the presentation here in the Pearly School for the Fortis Energy Diet. Any minute now, Patricia will be giving us a talk and things will settle down and hopefully get a bit quieter.
Good evening and welcome to Grand Forks Intervention. So we're just going to have about a 15-minute presentation. So if there's a few seats here, if you'd like to sit down and watch the presentation and hear about what an energy assessment is, and grab some food, and we'll get the presentation in a couple of minutes. Very soon. 1 minute. All right. Well, it's really great to see you this evening. Thank you for coming. I'm Patricia Donnell. I'm with FortisBC, and I'm the program manager for the Kootenay Energy Diet. I have with me this evening Shelley Hasty, who is the community ambassador for FortisBC, and Emily Noosa, who's always very busy at the registration desk. She's back there in yellow. Also tonight we have Angela Sukarov with the Grand Forks and District Credit Union, and there she is. She's going to say a few words in a moment. She's one of our partners. So I just hope that you've all signed in this evening, because we like to know that we had such a nice crowd here in Grand Forks. And we're going to give you a little background on what the Kootenay Energy is all about, and then invite you to visit our trades that are here, our local trades that have come and joined us this evening. So I'll talk a little background about the Kootenay Energy Diet, and then let you know what it is. So here we go. So a few years ago, there was something called the Rossland Energy Diet. And what happened in Rossland, it's a mountain community. They discovered they have high energy use, higher than average BC energy use because of their mountain climate and also their older housing stock. And the city of Rossland and the Rossland Sustainability Committee approached Fortis and said, what can we do? How can we help our residents reduce energy in their homes? The Rossland Energy Diet was born. It was a partnership. It partnered with the Nelson and District Credit Union that's in Rossland to help people offer low-interest loans if people wanted to do energy-efficient upgrades to their homes. A real partnership. And what it was a program designed to help you overcome some of the barriers of, okay, I think I'd like to do something to save energy in my home, but I really don't know what to do. So by having an energy assessment, a person comes to your home and gives you sort of a list, a to-do list of what you could do. You have our ambassadors like Shelley and Emily that can call you and answer your questions and help just to encourage you And then again, we have opportunities for rebates and incentives through LiveSmartBC and FortisBC, and then low interest loans through the credit union. So that was the Rossland Energy Diet a couple of years ago. And we were floored. It was very, very popular. 22% of the single-family homes in Rossland participated. That was about 257 homes did the Rossland Energy Diet. And of those people that kind of registered and had an energy assessment, about 80% of them did some form of energy improvement to their home. Now, it's said that $1.6 million was spent in the local economy in Rossland over the middle of winter that year. So as people sort of maybe upgrade their furnace or replace their windows, they do other things too. So here's an example of a very happy homeowner, a happy Rossland Energy Diet participant. Her name is Tara, and she has a 1931 home. And when before the energy diet, she was spending $600 a month on her electricity and her gas. And that was apparently higher than her mortgage. So she did lots. She did sort of, she gets a gold star for doing everything on her list. But she replaced her windows, she upgraded her heating, she had places in her home that had no insulation, so now she has insulation everywhere, and she did air leakage. So her energy bills went down by $400 a month, so she's paying about $150 now. She did spend $35,000 on all her upgrades, but she got $10,000 back in rebates. So her overall spending was $25,000, but she's saving $400 a month. So it's about a 5-year payback for her, and you see the smile on her face. She has a very comfortable home, she reports now. I guess before it was very drafty. Now she doesn't have to turn on her furnace during the shoulder season. Some of the Energy Diet participants talk about having their home just less noisy and more comfortable. She also got an EnerGuide rating. Her home went from in the 30s, which is drafty, to 77, I think it is, which actually exceeds the building code for new home construction now, just by participating in the Rossland Energy Diet. So the Rossland Energy Diet received international and local attention. It was an award winning. It won at the UBCM, the Union of British Columbia Municipalities. It won an award for climate and energy action. And it was thought that the people that worked in Rossland, perhaps they could participate in a similar program. So there was thought, how could we replicate this and have it Kootenay-wide? So the Kootenay Energy Diet was born, and we really want to thank our partners, Natural Resource Canada, LiveSmartBC, and Columbia Basin Trust are all contributing to this program. And then we've partnered with the 5 credit unions of the Kootenay Diet area. So of course here in Grand Forks, we have the Grand Forks Credit Union. We also have a branch of the Heritage Credit Union in Greenwood. And at any of these credit unions throughout the project area, you could go in and ask for a low interest, long amortized loan. So the interest rate is 4.5%, and it's an unsecured loan, and you could help, and that might overcome a barrier on how you would pay for some of your energy upgrades. And this is the project area for the Kootenay Energy Diet. It includes Central Kootenay Regional District and Kootenay Boundary Regional District and the FortisBC electric service area. So it does exclude sort of the McCusp, New Denver area. But other than that, it's all of Kootenay Boundary. And we are working together with Nelson Hydro and they have a program called Nelson EcoSave, which we're sort of partnering with them and offering the same program. And also Grand Forks Hydro here in Grand Forks. You're able to participate in this program through Fortis. Okay, an energy assessment. So what is the Kootenay Energy Diet? So you're all here tonight, and I see that some of you have your envelopes. And so it looks like you've registered, so thank you. And what you registered for is an energy assessment. And someone like this man, or we actually have one here in the room, Rob from Total Home Solutions, will come to your home, and for $60 he will give an energy, a thorough sort of an hour and a half. He's going to describe what he does, but he will give you an energy assessment of your home. Now, at $60, normally the fee can be up to $400 for this. It's $60, however, for the first 100 residents of Grand Forks to sign up, your municipality has kicked in $25. So the first 100, and you have to be a Grand Forks resident, it's not the rural area, but in Grand Forks it's $35 for you. Midway also, their council has given a discount to the first, I've forgotten how many, 25 I think. They're giving 10 people off, $10 off the first 25 Midway residents. So there are a little bit of incentives from some of the local governments, but it is for anyone in the rural areas or cities. When your energy assessor arrives, he's going to, I'm going to have hands here, but he's going to bring a bag of energy efficient tools, and he will actually help to install some. So this here is a magic wand or a pipe insulator for your hot water, and that will help insulate your pipe and help you save hot water. And there's some light bulbs in here, some CFL light bulbs. There's a low flow shower head to again help to save hot water. There's a kitchen tap aerator. And oh, the other thing I want to show you. Well, somewhere in here are some plug insulators, which are really a good idea. You put these behind your the plugs on your exterior walls, and that helps reduce draft coming in the plugs. So they're called draft stoppers. He won't install these ones for you, but he will drop off a package. Okay, so Rob will explain a little more about the EnerGuide rating, which you will get an initial report, and it will tell you what your EnerGuide rating is. He will also help you access any LiveSmart BC incentives or FortisBC rebates. You do have to complete any upgrades. If you're going to apply for any of the rebates, you have to, for the LiveSmart rebates, you have to complete your upgrades by December 31st. And if you would like to access the LiveSmart BC rebates, then you do need to have a second assessment on by March 31st. And your energy assessor will help you through that whole process. And the second assessment does cost you $150, but of course, to access the 4,000 of rebates, it's probably worth it. Now, I know you can't read this, but this is excerpted from a report that you will get, your energy assessment. So the top is what your EnerGuide rating would be. So for this house, it's a bungalow from the 1960s. It has an EnerGuide rating of 57. And then this list here are all the possible things, and they're rated. So this house could upgrade the heating, do some air sealing, do some attic roof insulation, do some windows and doors, domestic hot water system. And it sort of prioritizes what the homeowner could do and how much it would improve their EnerGuide rating by doing those. And so if everything's done, then this house would be an 82 EnerGuide rating. Now, one thing about EnerGuide rating is it's coming in a few years. It's likely that you will require an EnerGuide rating when you sell your home. So by joining the Kootenay Energy Diet, even if you just get your first one, you will have that EnerGuide rating for potential sale of home. And as a buyer, if you know the energy costs of a home, that influences whether you're going to purchase or not. And just to finish up here again, we're talking about the low interest, long amortized loans that the program features. And we're having kickoffs, these interventions, so tonight in Grand Forks. We are phasing the energy diet. So we started in Castlegar and Salmo, and now we're actually in the trail area and the boundary area. So you have about 6 weeks to apply for Kootenay Energy Diet, starting from tonight, because of course we want you to have your assessment and have time to do your upgrades before the end of the year. And in September we'll be in Creston, Caslow, and Slocan. But be sure to, if this is of interest to your neighbors or your friends, or we do have a few more of these trade shows scheduled, and they're most welcome to join. These are the last few trade shows we have coming up, interventions. We have one in Nelson next week, June 25th. And then in September, we're in Slocan, Creston, and Caslow. Just to finish up here, some interesting stats that you probably can't read, but basically the pie-shaped graph, the big 53% of your home energy costs go to space heating. So that's where you kind of want to look at if you're trying to reduce energy in your home. And then 16% I think it is the water. So again, having the low flow shower heads and things like that will help you save water. So I'm going to actually pass the microphone over to Rob now, and he's going to give you a little bit of information about the assessment. So I'll back up the slide.
Hi, just want to say thank you to Fortis for inviting us to take part in the Kootenay Energy Diet. I've already done about 40, 50 houses, and it's quite interesting the variety of housing stock in this area. There's lots of anything from 1910 to 2000. So I just want to take a few minutes and explain the process that I go through when I do an audit. My name is Rob. I'm with Total Home Solutions, and it's about a 4-step process. The first thing we do is take photos and measurements of the outside of the house, count all your windows and type of windows, and then we get inside and take inventory of all the mechanicals, so that's burners, hot water, any exhaust devices, fireplaces, things like that. Third process is to go and measure all the installations, so attic, basement, crawl space, walls. And then the fourth part is we run a blower door test, an airtight test, where we set a large door up in one of your exterior doors, and we create a negative pressure in the house. And this negative pressure simulates about a 50-kilometer-hour wind on the house. So we can walk around, and I'll walk around with you, and we'll check where air is leaking in the house. And sometimes it's fairly obvious. It may be your plugs are leaking, and you can put foam gaskets behind them. It could be an exposed header in a basement area. Usually it's things you can do yourself to improve the air tightness. And once I've done that, then we'll sit down and go through rebates that are available and upgrades that we recommend. And we take all that information back and enter it into a piece of software that models your home and produces a custom report for that house. And as we go through, we'll prioritize the upgrades that we recommend. So for one house, you may have air sealing might be a high priority and a furnace might be secondary. And this report that we'll produce will have them in priority, what we recommend you do. And then some of these are associated with rebates with Fortis, and some have incentives through the Live Smart program. So you'll get this report in the mail or an email, and from there you can go ahead and do your upgrades. If you aren't doing any upgrades that require a second audit, you can still have a label printed for your house, which is what Trish was talking about, the EnerGuide rating for your home. And it will be, the first number up there would be the 57 or whatever your home is rated at. And then if you do a second audit, you will have a second EnerGuide rating, it will be the higher rating. So that's pretty much the process. Any questions?
Yes. I noticed on the second inspection after you have something done, that's $150.
Yes.
And that the homeowner is paying for it.
Yeah.
And that's when you get your second number up there.
Yeah, that's right. And I come back and audit whatever upgrades you've done, take new measurements, and we do run another lower door test.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's only if you do something kind of major, I guess.
Yeah, it's only if you do something that qualifies for LiveSmart rebates,
Right.
which is pretty much all the installation rebates.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you specify about the 145s?
For the LiveSmart rebate, LiveSmart rebates are pretty much all installation, so attic, basement, crawl space, wall, upgrading insulation in any of those areas. And then the Fortis rebates involve, depending on whether your house is heated with gas or electric, will be your heating, windows, doors, and they also have rebates on lighting, fans, all kinds of other stuff. And I'll be going through that with you and showing you which one is which.
We were considering having windows upgraded. I guess we should wait till after we get this assessment.
Yes.
To do that.
Are you electric?
Electric heat.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll put it on.
Okay.
How strong is the correlation between the change in your EnerGuide rating and cost savings?
Oh, it depends on what you do. If you're on electric heat and you go to an electric, like a heat pump, you'll see a fairly substantial savings in cost, and you'll see the largest point increase. Some of them are very closely tied to actual cost savings. Something like an air sealing isn't necessarily tied to a cost savings. It may be a comfort, like a comfort.
Not only about electric heat.
Oh no, no or gas heat. Yeah, either one.
Without about the same rate.
Yep.
Your assessor doesn't look at appliances, does it?
Sorry?
Your assessor doesn't look at appliances?
No, not at all. Other than heating and hot water.
How come Fortis doesn't offer a rebate from going from electric heat to gas heat?
I don't know.
They don't promote fuel switching.
Yeah.
I have
Is that because Fortis makes 2.4% more than the rest of the province on electrical charge, and they're not willing to look at gas?
That one I can't answer. I just know that promotion of fuel switching is just not. So is this right there in the middle of the regulation, or is this still over?
Yeah, we can't do the first audit if your house is not together. So if you've got windows already out.
No, yeah, but I mean, if, like, is that the only thing, windows, like, you can renovate without replacing windows. You're in the middle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you haven't already insulated your attic to a higher point or basement walls or crawl space, well worth having an audit done.
I got one. I work in a building supply company, and I notice there's a lot of people building brand new houses. I have a place where I can talk to people like that and suggest like energy efficient ideas like geothermal or whatever. Is there grants for new homeowners that are building right now?
Fortis has a new home program, so if you have questions about the new home, we can give that to the front desk. We can give you contact information.
my boss is building a $2 million house right now. It's on the lake. So
Oh, lucky him.
it's actually a lady, but she deserves it.
We'll give you the information you need because we do
Okay.
have a new home program and it's a very nice program.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rob. And I'm going to invite Angela Sukharov from the Grand Forks Credit Union to just say a few words and thank you as one of our partners. Thank you.
We just wanted to also thank Fortis for including the credit unions in this program as partners, and to let you know that we have contact information also at the back table. So once you have your energy assessment done and you've started to decide what things you're going to put in place, if you'd like to talk to our staff about the low interest, long-term amortized fixed rate, we're so happy to do that with you. Thanks, Trish.
So are there any more questions? Okay, so I'm just going to resort to my list here.
I have a question. I was somewhere in Roslyn. Was this still applicable to Roslyn?
Yes, actually Rossland is in phase 2, but yes, your son in Rossland is
Warfield.
Oh, yes, Warfield is.
So how would he go about contacting you?
So I'll switch over to the last page of my slides here. And that's our website. And it should be on your brochure, so we have brochures in the back. But that's our website, so he can sign up online, or he can email or call Shelley, and she can help you out. Or just look for us at various events throughout the summer. So I do want to make sure that you've all filled in the door prize ticket. So before you leave, make sure you sign up for the door prize. We have a number of prizes tonight. The Grand Forks Credit Union has donated a sitting chair and also a bag and hat and cup prize, very nice. And then there's some Fortis prizes, a nice sports bag, an LED light, and a programmable thermostat. So there's 5 prizes tonight, so good chances. Make sure you have your name in there. We'll draw a little later this evening. I also want to invite you to we'll thank our trades for coming out tonight, and please, thank you very much, trades. And some of us there's a lot of local boundary trades, and then we have some of my, they're now family because we've been doing all these trade shows, so a few have been traveling with us too, so it's great. So I am going to introduce you around the table. We'll start with the treats tonight came from Twisted Forks in Grand Forks, so make sure you fill up. And then we have Graham Watt, and he's with the Kettle Valley Watershed Group. We have Michael from Mountain High Lighting at Rossland. We have at the next table, we have Diane, Andy, and Ron from A. Shelton Fire and Electrical Services. They're at Greenwood. We have Brent from WD Sheet Metal Limited out from Grand Forks here. We have Beck and Kelly Morrison from Morrison Insulation from Castlegar. Over here we have Ready Electric, it's John. And then we have the Milgard Windows Rep and window door installers, Craig and Dennis, and also Grand Forks Castle Renovation Center. And I know that they have a draw at their table for winning an amazing amount of money. I can't remember the amount, but
$50,000.
$50,000, that's a lot of windows, so you can make sure you join them over there. And then over here with the heat pumps and the furnace, we have, that's Troy from Oasis Refrigeration out of Grand Forks also. So, thank you very much. So just, and then Tess is here too, thank you. Please sign up. We're here until 9 o'clock to answer any questions. Make sure you talk to the tradespeople, and happy home renovating and energy efficiency. Thank you.
So there you have it. The Kootenay Energy Diet from Fortis. Makes a lot of sense and can save you money. Save you money, and they're in a sense putting their money where their mouth is, and trying to help you out and help us all out, I guess. That's a good thing. For the Boundary Sentinel and GFTV, I'm Wes, and hope your energy bills aren't too high, but hey, summertime's coming in, and now you're not paying for heating, you're paying for cooling. Insulation helps either way. Think about that.